Today we come together to celebrate some of the individual accomplishments, to welcome new team members, and to wish a couple of our folks our very best in the next chapter of their lives. It's also an opportunity for us to say thank you to those of you who support our first responders at home, who take care of things while these folks are at work for anywhere from 48 to 72 hours at a time, who offer an ear and a shoulder when we have a tough shift, or when we have to see and experience things that will stay with us for the rest of our lives. This morning we're also going to celebrate with each of you who've hit milestones in 2019, whether that be entry level, promotion, or in a couple of cases, retirement. We also celebrate what we do together to protect and enhance the quality of life for our community. We've built a remarkable organization together, not because we have great officers or dedicated firefighters, and we have both of those things. We continue to accomplish the things that we do because of the contributions to the team that each member makes and what we create together collectively. Our future is brighter than it's ever been, and together we will continue to transform our service to the community, and we will positively impact the industry that we so proudly represent this morning. The badge that we'll present to our newly promoted officers and that will be pinned on our new hires at the end of Academy has a rich history associated with bravery, service, and honor. We often talk about the badge as if it's in and of itself the goal that we strive for, but we know that it represents more than a new job or promotion. It's a symbol of the solemn role and responsibility within our community that we take on when we accept the badge. It represents hours and hours of preparation, study, mentoring, and effort that we put into preparing for the next role, whether that be a brand new entry-level position or a promotion, or maybe even retirement. It represents our passion to serve, our accountability to our team, our attitude, and our work ethic. It represents the sacred bond that exists between the community members that we serve, who are experiencing their worst day, and each of you who will bring your very best to that experience to assist them. Anytime I get a chance to talk to new folks or in a setting where I have an opportunity, I talk about the importance of integrity in what we do. We can accomplish what we accomplish behind the symbol of this badge because the community trusts us. They hold our profession and they hold each of us in a very high regard, and they give us access to their lives that they would not dream of giving access to anybody else in the world. Most of you who are in uniform, who've been on the job for any length of time, have arrived at the front door of a home and had a mom hand you their infant or their young child who's having an emergency. You, a perfect stranger who have never met them, they're handing their child over to you, their most sacred possession or person in their life in many cases. They're handing that child over to you, no questions asked, because they trust us. They have a medical emergency or a house fire, they give us access to the most personal parts of their home, their personal belongings, their valuables, their papers, right? They give us access because they trust us. And so this badge is not just a piece of metal that we wear on our chest. It represents all of those things. It represents the integrity that we operate with. It represents the trust that we protect so fiercely in our community so that we can do the job that we're called to do. The work that you do, again, there's nobody else to do it. If we lose that trust, if we don't operate with that integrity, there's nobody to come behind us. There's no 912, there is just 911. And so when you put that badge on for your next rank, when we pin our newest members after Academy, and we put that badge on your chest for the first time as a Richland firefighter, that's a very cool moment, and I want you to celebrate that and remember it for the rest of your career, for the rest of your life. But remember, this is not just about the badge. It's about everything that badge represents. And for this department and this community, that is a lot. It is a huge responsibility, and I'm very proud of how each and every one of you takes that so seriously and brings your very best to every day that you come to work. So as we're going to start with our very newest folks and then end with our retirees today. Again, we'll celebrate the badging. We'll do a badging of our recruits after recruit school graduation or at recruit school graduation. And then we'll do a department badging for all of you at our breakfast next year as we look back on 2020. But I would like to have the new recruits come forward if you would. Our newest members are Eric Center, Chad Miller, Emily Nikora, Dalton Renz, Cody Keaton, John Togiai, and Matthew Jubb. So I'd like the 7 of you to look out in this room, and obviously not everybody from the department is here, but we have a great representation from the department, and recognize that this is your second family. You have spouses and family members and brothers and sisters and moms and dads who are your primary family. You will spend more of your life with this crowd than you will with the other, okay? You will eat with these folks, you will sleep in the same building as these folks, you will go on 911 calls, you'll stand on the side of the highway with cars going by at 80 miles an hour, you will go into IDLH atmospheres and burning buildings, you will go into confined spaces, you will do all kinds of things that are out of the norm for an average citizen in the community, and you will do that with the members of the department that you see here today. For all of you who are our current members, this is our new younger brothers and sisters who are joining us. We're very excited to have them on board. They have been through a grueling hiring process. You have before you the best of the dozens and dozens of applicants that we had for Richland Fire and Emergency Services. So please join me in welcoming these 7 folks to our organization, and to all of you, welcome, and we are very, very excited. Can't wait to see what you bring to the organization. We have a couple of new hires from last year that we had intended to do the badging this morning, but they were unable to attend this year. So we do want to recognize them at any rate. Colton Casillas, I always get that last name wrong. Colton Casillas and Chris Willett both joined the organization right after our breakfast last year, so the timing was just right. They'll actually be completing their probation the first week of March, and I suspect maybe they're just trying to lay low and get past that magic date. I don't know. Both of them have been amazing additions to the organization, and if we could give them a round of applause too. I know they're not here, but. We also want to celebrate Colin McCabe. I think I saw you here. Did I not? Yep. Colin completed his probation in 2019, so that's very exciting. And Megan Phillips, our fire data analyst, completed probation in 2019 as well. So we're very excited. Congratulations. The next thing that we'll celebrate is promotions. Last year we actually didn't have any promotions at the breakfast. This year we have 1 at each rank due to Kurt Walsh's retirement. Next year at this time we're going to have all kinds of promotions and new bodies, new people to celebrate. So Chris Roney was promoted to lieutenant in December of 2019. Chris is not here today. He's in Mexico with Kurt Walsh, I suspect, enjoying the sunshine and warm weather. Chris is one of those guys that rode the backwards seat for a long time, right, on the engine, and was a senior firefighter and was happy doing that. And whatever changed, I suspect being stationed with Joe had something to do with it. Chris started thinking about what he can contribute as a senior firefighter and maybe what he could contribute as an officer. And the transformation in that guy in the last few years has been nothing short of amazing. He's always been a rock-solid firefighter and very well respected. But the contributions and the engagement that we've seen out of him as a potential and new officer are amazing. So I'm very proud to be able to promote Chris as a very respected senior firefighter and now as a very well-respected new lieutenant. So if we can give Chris a round of applause. Next up, Andy Sabin, if you want to come up. Andy, what can I say about Andy? Andy is one of our workhorses. He took on a project for the organization to improve our documentation. Woo! I mean, there was people clamoring for this assignment. We had to go through a whole selection process and narrow it down. Andy took on a very, very challenging project for us, quality assurance in our EMS reporting. It's critical for us, not just in terms of patient care, but also in terms of billing, which creates the revenue, which pays for our business so that we can provide our service. Again, Andy didn't just take on the project, he dove in headfirst, full on 100%, and literally transformed that end of our business and has done nothing but just continue to improve our documentation. We went from one of the weakest documentation departments with our third-party ambulance billing company to one of the strongest departments providing documentation. So, and again, that's been in a year and a half time. So amazing transformation on a project that isn't something that your average firefighter, EMT, paramedic is going to sign up for and be excited about. And yet Andy did. He embraced it and he owned it and he got it done. And we're very proud of that and we very, very much appreciate it. When I sat down and interviewed the 3 candidates for this promotion, the thought process that Andy was able to convey, he gets where we're going. He gets the vision of what we're trying to create in this community. He's perhaps the biggest picture thinker in the organization that I've had a chance to sit and talk with. And it was such a pleasure to hear your thought process, your vision for the future, and what you want to accomplish. And I'm very excited and I'm honored to be able to offer the promotion to you and have the new badge pinned on your chest today. So Mackenzie, if you want to come up and do the honors. And you've done this before, so, right? So not straight in.
I told him he can't try it.
Finally, I want to bring Randy Ost up. Randy, I have said, even as a fire chief making that transition, the transition from captain or company officer to battalion chief is the biggest single transition in the fire service. It's different work, it's a different thought process, it's a different way of thinking about being productive and accomplishing things. There are very few tangible things that you can mark off and say, I got this done today. And some of our captains have taken years to make that transition, and some, like Randy, literally was on the ground running before we could even get the badge on his chest. His contribution to what we do on days and getting the big picture things going in the department has been nothing short of amazing. Again, I talk a lot about transforming things, but this guy has brought so much great structure and thought process and organization and long-term view. What do we want to accomplish and how do we work backwards from that? That's so refreshing because we just haven't had the capacity and the executive level thinking in play to be able to really capitalize on those things until this year. So the fact that I'm talking about a brand new battalion chief is dumbfounding to me because Randy has stepped into that role in a way that I didn't think possible. So congratulations, I'm very, very proud of what you've already accomplished and I cannot wait to see what the next few years brings for you. So Abby, if you want to come up and do the honors. The final segment that we want to talk about in terms of celebration is our retirements. I mentioned already that Kurt Walsh retired in 2019, at the end of the year, after a long and distinguished career in the fire service. He spent years in the Air Force Fire Service and then joined us in the early 90s, worked his way from entry level up to battalion chief. And literally, in my early years as a fire chief, he was the rock that I leaned on. He was the person who I went to for advice. He's the guy that steadied me that first couple of years and said, "You got this. Here's what I think." He helped me make that transition to fire chief. Of course, all the battalion chiefs did so, and many of you as well. But I had a very strong bond. Jim and Kurt and I worked very, very closely when we were in operations, and that level of trust and relationship carried through in that first couple of years that remains very, very significant and meaningful to me. And I know all of you that worked for Kurt can attest to both his technical competence and his ability to navigate the difficult people issues sometimes that we run into, and really advocate for the safety and well-being of his folks on his shift. So Kurt will be, I wish he was here this morning. We'll celebrate with him at the retirement dinner, I'm sure. Kurt will be profoundly missed and leaves some big footsteps to follow for all of us as we move forward and he enters into that phase of enjoying his retirement. Our final person that we'd like to celebrate today, Tracia Nunnally, is one of our senior firefighters. She's actually retiring in 2020, so we'll do the shadow box and the full meal deal for you at next year's breakfast. But we did, it's in such close proximity, we did want to recognize your years of service, your contribution to the organization. And Cindy Rentz is here to actually offer some words from the city for you as well. And so I'd invite our city manager to come up and say a few words for Tracia.
Thank you, Chief. Congratulations. So I'll try to get through this. Every year when we have someone retire, the mayor has an opportunity to write a letter and congratulate that retiree. So I would like to read this to you on behalf of the mayor. So, dear Tracia, congratulations and best wishes on your retirement. On behalf of the City of Richland, I commend you for over 27 years of productive and conscientious service to our citizens through your work with the City of Richland Fire Department. You joined Richland Fire in 1992, and from the very beginning, you demonstrated a heart for the fire department and the citizens of Richland. Don't cry, I will do it. Your time as a medical officer in 1999 and 2000 set the standard for work ethic, a can-do attitude, and dedication to supporting the needs of the department. Tracia, you earned a reputation as someone who would help regardless of the personal cost. You have always been one of the dedicated few that the department could count on for emergency callback, and you helped everyone in need, even to your own detriment on occasion. You are known as one of the most thoughtful, loyal, hardworking individuals in the organization. You have been a student of your craft throughout your career and have been an important part of the department and the community that we serve. Your passion to serve others, not only in your professional career, but also your personal life, is something that we would all do well to aspire to. Taking great pride in teaching the next generation tricks of the trade and how they can excel as firefighters is one of your strongest suits. After joining Richland, it became clear that you had a passion for equipment and pump operations, and the chief shared with me that you were one of the key people who trained him to be a driver-operator doing his initial training with the department. I'm not sure how that went.
It was a tough assignment.
Your compassion and dedication to the organization, contagious laugh, love for Richland Fire and Emergency Services, as well as your often unique choice of words, will be greatly missed and remembered long after your retirement date. On behalf of the City of Richland, please know that we sincerely appreciate all of your excellent work throughout the years. We wish you every joy in your retirement and best wishes in your future endeavors. Sincerely, Ryan Luxon, Mayor of Richland. Congratulations. I also want to present to you your plaque, and the plaque says, with sincere appreciation for 27 years and 4 months, and how many hours? of dedicated service to the citizens and staff of the City of Richland, October 2nd, 1992 to February 28th, 2020. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you for everything.
Of course.
Love you.
So the chief told me I had the mic after this. Thank you, Tracy. I appreciate it. Oh, here's your letter. Would you like your letter?
Thank you.
He told me I had the mic, which is a really dangerous thing, and the new recruits know this because they came to meet with me for an hour, and I think we sat there for 2. I think you missed your lunch. Apologize for that, but I hope you gained a lot of knowledge. Most of you here know that something that's really important to me as the city manager of the City of Richland is that we are known as the go-to city. It's not written down anywhere, and Kevin knows this. We talk about it all the time. It's something that is on my heart, that if we are the organization that people want to mimic and emulate, then that's the best form of compliment. And what I've heard here today is nothing short of phenomenal. What I heard about the NFA and staffing a new fire department anywhere in the country with Richland firefighters, well, they can't take you, but that is the highest form of praise, and you all did it. The Heart Safe program, that just gives me chills every time I think about it. It's just an amazing program, and y'all did that. You all did that. You did things that other people have not accomplished. And you do that, and other people are watching it. Other people want to be like you. To the new recruits, you're the best of the best. We don't take anyone who's not the best. So be proud of that, and know that everyone in this room is someone you can count on and you can emulate. And there's mentors here, so take advantage of that. Your chief is an amazing chief. And he's taken this department to heights that I never even thought we could get to. And I really appreciate that. And I'm gonna have to close because I really am gonna start crying. So I appreciate everything that you do. I love this department. You are an amazing representative of the city of Richland. So thank you from the bottom of my heart. Congratulations to all of you.
Well, that's going to be pretty tough to follow, so I will just say one more time, I know that I don't get out to visit as much as I need to and want to, and I'm continuing to work on that. But these opportunities that I get periodically, like the breakfast this morning, for me to tell you how proud I am of all of you and this organization and what we do, I'm not just saying those words. And I wish you could sit in and listen to the conversations that I have with people I go to church with, that people I know from in the community, from other fire chiefs, other departments, other city departments. I brag about you guys all the time because you are so easy to brag about. It's easy for us to hold ourselves up in high regard and think that we're the best and get a little arrogant or lose sight of our humility. And that's certainly not what I'm striving for, because we always have things that we can work on and get better at and improve. But that's exactly why you are so amazing, is because you're not satisfied with status quo. You're always looking for the better thing, always looking for the improvement, always looking for how do we get more effective, how do we improve. That makes my job as your chief not just a lot easier than it could be, but so profoundly rewarding. And one more time, I am extraordinarily proud of all of you. Thanks for joining us this morning for our 2019 awards and celebration, badging celebration. We'll do it again in about a year. As busy as 19 was, I'm going to stand up here in 2021, looking back at 2020, saying, geez, I think 2020 was our busiest year yet. And if there's a trend there, I think in 22 we'll be saying again, I think 21 was our busiest year yet. Things are not slowing down, but I'm confident again that our future is bright because of all of you. So thank you, enjoy your morning, and be safe out there today if you're on shift, and we'll look forward to seeing you at the next event.